Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Pathaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayana Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Puranamuna Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashaധ്യായിനി Ambatvāmanusandadhāmi Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Devyaistavai Vedai Sandapadakramo Panishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadjatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginah Yashrantanna Vidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Let us read the first three verses. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Param Bhuyah Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanamuttamam Yajñātvā munayas sarve Param siddhimito gataha Mama yo nirmahad brahma Tasmin garbham dadhamyaham Sambhavas sarvabhutanam Tato bhavati bharata Sattvam rajastama iti Gunah prakriti sambhava Nibadnanti mahabaho Dehe dehinam avyayam So having said that, I am the creator of this universe, my yoni, my maya, or Prakriti, the primordial matter, which is the upadana material cause of the universe. Tasmin garbham dadamyaham. Lord Krishna says, in the beginning of this cycle of creation, I enliven my Maya. During the dissolution, the Maya is sleeping. Just as in deep sleep, we are also sleeping. At that time, our all creative energy, etc., is all in a dormant form, in a potential form, in the deep sleep state. Even though I may be a big artist, a singer of classical music, in deep sleep I don't do that because that my creative power is sleeping dormant. When I wake up, when somebody says, please sing, then I enliven that power. I invoke that power and then I become a singer. Similarly, in the beginning of this cycle of creation, Lord Krishna enlivens Maya, which is his creative power, and becomes a creator. See, you become a musician, you become a singer only when your capacity of singing is invoked. You become a sculptor when your creative power of sculpting is invoked. Otherwise you are an ordinary person, is it not so? Similarly, Ishvara also is not creator when in the state of dissolution. What is dissolution? When all the living beings fall asleep, or everybody falls asleep for a long time. And just as when we are in deep sleep, we are woken up in the morning. Who wakes us in the morning? Our own karma wakes up. You may think that alarm wakes up. Maybe it does. But even if your alarm is not, just somebody will wake up at some time. Because when we go to sleep at night, there are a lot of things that are undone which need to be done. When I go to sleep at night, lots of plans are there for the next day. So it is those desires, those karmas that wake me up in the morning. Similarly, what is called pralaya or dissolution, when the entire universe goes to sleep. When all the jivas, living beings, go to sleep with their desires incomplete, unfinished. So when all of them are ready now to fructify, then the Maya is woken up. The creative power is woken up. Lord Krishna's I, the consciousness, enliven the Maya. And thus I become the creator and I create the whole universe. Meaning that just as clay, which is the material cause of a pot, is very much present where the pot is, gold, which is the material for making the ornament, is present where the ornament is. That's the rule. The material is always present where the effect is, the product is. Similarly, if Ishvara, Lord, is the material cause of the universe, then He is present everywhere. That's what Vedanta wants to teach us. That Ishvara is present everywhere. He is all pervasive. Just as the clay pervades all the pots and pans, just as gold pervades all the ornaments. So Ishvara pervades the entire universe. He is present everywhere. In you, in me, even in this table, the chair, in sentient, insentient, whatever there is in the universe, Ishvara is present. That is what Vedanta wants to teach us. Is what we call all pervasive immanence. So Vedanta presents Ishvara as both simultaneously immanent as well as transcendent. Just as an actor who plays a variety of roles, sometimes the actor becomes king, sometimes becomes a minister, sometimes becomes a beggar, and so on and so forth. How the actor pervades all the roles. Actor is in the king also, the minister also, in the beggar also, is it not so? But the beauty is that even though the actor is the king or the beggar, the actor has not become the beggar, you understand? Actor merely appears to be a beggar, he has not become the beggar. Actor pervades all the roles, at the same time transcends all the roles. You know, transcending what? Even though he is acting as a king, he has not become the king. He remains actor. He transcends the king, transcends the minister, transcends the beggar. You understand what is transcending? He is not limited by a beggar. He has not become the beggar. He remains a wealthy person in spite of appearing as a beggar. Similarly, so what is meant by transcending is that even though he pervades everything, he is not limited by anything. Even though the actor pervades a beggar or a villain or whatever, he is not become a beggar or villain. He is not limited by being a beggar. So even when the actor is acting as a beggar, he knows very well that I am a wealthy person. That is called transcending, not being affected in any way. So Ishvara also pervades everything, at the same time transcends everything. You can say Ishvara has taken all these roles. Our local actors can take one role at a time, or two roles at a time, double role, triple role. Are there movies like that? When we were small, there used to be movies like that, double role. Triple role. How many roles can an actor take, poor fellow? But Ishvara is a great actor, he's called Nataraja, he's the king of all the actors. He has simultaneously taken all countless roles. Each one of us is what? Is like a costume. Our body, mind, sense complex is like a costume. And who is talking? Who is listening? The Swami is talking, but really, who is acting as a Swami, Ishvara is acting as a Swami. Who is acting as you? Ishvara is acting as you. Ishvara is acting as a man, woman. Tvam Stri, Tvam Pumanasi, Tvam Kumara, Utava Kumari, Tvam Jirno Dandena Vanchasi. Upanishad says, Upanishad Rishi says, addressing Ishvara, he says, Tvam Stri, oh Lord, hey, you are in the form of this woman. Tvam Pumanasi, you are in the form of this man. As they're passing by, he describes, Tvam Kumara Utavako, hey, you, this young man, this young woman. Tvam Jirno Dandena Vanchasi, you are this old man, he says, staff in the hand. Tvam jatosi vishvato mukha. You alone are manifest in all the forms. Not only human beings, all living beings. Animals and plants and trees and insects. All creatures, all living beings. Ishvara is manifest in all of them. He is simultaneously assumed all the roles. So Vedanta teaches that Vedanta tells us a story. Upanishad says, Tat srishtva tadevanupravishat so kamayata bhahusyam prajayeti. In the beginning of this cycle of creation, akamayata Ishvara desired Bahusyam, may I become many. The Srishtva, he created all these names and forms. He created all these costumes. You know how many variety of costumes? Do you know how many variety of costumes there are in the universe? How many? 8.4 million, 84 lakhs. So they say. Maybe even more, who knows? That many variety of costumes they created, tasrishtva tadevam pravishata. Having created them, he entered each one of them. That is called Ishvara, that's called Maya. Who can do this? What it means is that what obtains before us, including our own self, is nothing but Ishvara, that Paramatma, in the costume of a Swami, costume of a speaker, listener, good, bad, man, woman, child. That's about Ishvara manifesting. So then the question is, you mean I'm Ishvara, I'm Brahman? What are you talking? So yes. Brahman is Satchidananda, existence, intelligence, happiness, wholeness. You mean that's what I am? Yes. How come I don't feel that way? How can, even though happiness is my nature, how come I feel unhappy? If knowledge is my nature, how come I feel ignorant? If immortality is my nature, how come I feel mortal? What I feel about myself is quite contrary to what the scriptures tell me. They say you are Brahman, you are limitless, so they tell me, but my experience is quite contrary to what the scriptures tell me. Is it not so? So what happened to this fellow? The Ishvara, not fellow, Paramatma. Having entered, what happened to him? He got as though bound. He got as though limited. He entered the costume all right, like an actor entering the costume of beggar. But before going to the stage, the actor had one too many. So something happens inside. He is dressed very well as a beggar in the green room. From the green room, he comes to the stage. And before entering the stage, there is always a big mirror. So every actor looks at himself or herself. Geez, okay, I'm dressed all right. So this fellow also looks himself at the mirror, looks at himself. What does he find? Beggar. And never, now a notion is created, I am a beggar. You understand? Even though in reality, what is he? An actor, a very wealthy person. then what does he feel? He feels that I am a beggar. You know what it means? It means that he is identified with his costume. You understand? He is identified with his costume. And therefore judges himself. Not based on who he is, based on what his costume is. This fellow judges himself not based on who is he? He is a very wealthy person. How does he judge himself? I am a beggar. Where is the beggar? When an actor puts on the costume of a beggar, where is the beggar? Can you tell me? There are two entities there. The actor and the costume. Where is the beggar? Is the beggar in the actor or is the beggar in the costume? When this fellow declares I am a beggar, you know what has happened? The actor and the costume, which are two different entities, have become one. You follow? Otherwise, actor is different, costume is different. Normally that's how it is. So even though he is acting as a beggar, he is very aware of his true nature that I am an actor, I am a wealthy person. Knowing fully well, as Swami used to say, knowing fully well that by acting as a beggar, he is going to be richer than who he is, right? So he is very happy. Very happily he can bring out tears from his eyes. Very happily he can sing a tragic song of a beggar. Very happily he does. He doesn't mind if somebody insults him as a beggar. In the role, some people may insult him. Some people may be kind to him. Some people may be indifferent to him. He is treated in a variety of ways. It's quite okay. All of them are equal to him, right? When the actor is aware of who he is, then in the role of a beggar, if he is insulted, does he feel the insult? When you are acting on the stage, suppose you become Ravana, and Rama kills you, are you killed? Suppose Hanumanji insults you, in the sabha, are you insulted? Yes and no?
No.
Yes, at the level of costume. No, at the level of the person, right? Very important. We'll see, the wise person also is like that. Manapavanayostu, how the actor is equal to whether as a beggar he is honored or dishonored, is praised, is censured, is given something, not given something. But if because of something in the mind, because of the intoxication, forgets his own identity and identifies with the costume. Now, a new notion has arisen in his mind. What's the notion? I am a beggar. As long as he was in right senses, what was his perception of himself? I am the actor. Appearing as a beggar. But now, because of intoxication, the two has to become one. And therefore now, this fellow has a new notion. What it is? I am the beggar. Now things are different. This fellow is acting as a beggar in a play. This is a daily affair. He is sitting on the sidewalk. He has spread his cloth in front of him, how the beggars do. He makes some sound to attract the attention of the passers-by. Somebody takes pity on him and throws a coin. Somebody is more generous, gives him a rupee note or a dollar bill. Somebody is not kind, doesn't look at him. Somebody is cruel, insults him. The beggar in the play comes across a variety of characters. He is very cool. Normally, he is very cool. He does not react. He knows that as an actor, I am not supposed to react. As a beggar, I am not supposed to react. Goes on very well. But today something happened to him. Today you know what happened? This fellow had an argument before coming to the stage. While leaving home, he had an argument with his wife. The argument became a heated argument. And he was just upset. He was angry. The argument did not conclude, unfortunately. And he was getting late. So he left home in anger. You can see that an angry man is going on. The way he bangs the door, the way he bangs the door of his car, the way he switches on his engine, his anger is evident everywhere. He enters the theatre, comes to the green room, dresses, and still his anger is not gone. As an angry person in the costume of a beggar is sitting on the sidewalk. It's a everyday affair, as I say, somebody is kind to him, somebody is indifferent to him, somebody takes pity at him, somebody is cruel to him also. So a cruel person passes by and insults him, tells him some bad words. You fellows are always like this, you are hatta. Good word, something and some apashabda, some foul words also he uses. Every this fellow just listens without reacting, because a beggar is not supposed to react, But today, because of that anger in his mind, when that fellow said a foul word, he just got up and gave him a punch. Unexpected. That was knocked out because he never expected. This is every day. The curtains came down. The director came out and said, "What did you do? Why did you punch him? So why did he insult me?" It is his role to insult you, and it's your role to listen to that. Today what happened? From actor, he became a beggar. When he reacted with a punch, it was not actor who was reacting. Who was reacting? The beggar. He became the beggar, you understand? In his mind. That is called identification. It is not necessary that you have to be a real beggar to react as a beggar. All that is necessary is a notion in your mind that I am a beggar. So this Paramatma has entered here in this costume. Sattvam rajas tama iti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha, the third verse told us. And this costume is made up of three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Yesterday we described. This gross body is made up of what, you remember? From sattva, rajas or tamas? Tamas. Now you remind me, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. You forgot. And then we have the organs of action with which we act. Is the prana the vital air which provide energy to organs of action? This prana and organs of action are made of what? Rajas activity. And organs of perception of the mind, which are the organs of knowledge, made of what? Sattva. Sattvam rajas tamaiti. Our costume or personality of the body, mind, sense complex is made up of three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. So you are also, your costume also is a product of sattva, rajas, tamas. Her costume also, my costume also, a mosquito's costume also, an animal's costume also, a god's costume also, all made of what? Sattva, rajas, tamas. Then why are we all different? If all of us are made up of only same constituents, sattva, rajas, tamas, then what distinguishes one from the other? The proportion of these three is different. You follow? A little different mixture. Just as you make a roti, same wheat flour. Puri you make slightly different flour. Bhakri you may get little difference, isn't it? Paratha you make slightly different. Do you make it little difference? One flour is smooth, other is a little rough, So just as a little change in proportion creates a difference, similarly, change in the proportion of mixture of sattva, rajas, tamas creates all the countless, infinite variety of the costumes. That is called creation. Then Ishvara takes these three gunas, mixes them differently and creates countless costumes. Enters all of them. Is acting simultaneously. Sattvam rajas tamahiti gunaha prakriti sambhava. That's fine, so far it's alright. The second line of the verse says, Nibadnanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. You know what is meaning about deha? Deha means body. Deha means body. Dehi. What is dehi? You are right, but Dehi. Deha is body. Dehi is what? The one possesses the body. Yeah, that I don't expect that Sanskrit from you, but then just in case. Deha plus in pratyaya makes it Dehin. Deha asti asti iti Dehi. Who is Dehi? The one who possesses Deha. Body. Body means this body, mind, sense complex. The costume. So one who is put on this costume. One who possesses the costume is called Dehi. Who is it Dehi? Remember? Who is entered here? Who is wearing the costume? He told you, yeah. All the costumes are first created. Who enters them? Ishvara. So who is the Dehi? Deha is this body, mind, sense complex. Who is the Dehi? Ishvara, Paramatma, Brahman, the limitless. Understand that this costume is limited in every way. Isn't it? This poor body is mortal, was born and is going to die in a few years. He is limited in space, time, isn't it? Body can be in one place at one time, not elsewhere. It exists for a period of time, not before and not after. It possesses some attributes, not others. Human attributes. I am not a bird, I am not an elephant, I am not a horse. So this body, mind, sense complex, understand, is limited in every way. The indweller is what, limitless. Understand this. The indweller, the one who is entered, one who is manifesting through this costume is Paramatma, is limitless. But the costume is limited in every way. Can it happen? It can happen. Just as an actor may be a billionaire, right? But he can put on the costume of a beggar. He can, because he doesn't become the beggar. He can afford to put on the costume or take the role of a beggar because he does not become the beggar. Suppose the actor became the beggar on account of putting on the costume. Would he ever take that role? If by wearing the costume of the beggar, if the actor became the beggar, would he ever take that role? No. He happily takes the role because he knows that I do not become the beggar. I appear as a beggar, not become the beggar. So Bhagavan also entered here. The limitless entered here in this limited costume, knowing fully well that I remain limitless, I don't become limited because it's a costume, you follow? But just as because of some intoxication, that notion or a false notion arose in the mind of the actor that I am a beggar, it can happen. Similarly also, because of the intoxication of Maya, Maya creates intoxication. Where there are two, it becomes what? What are the two? The actor and the costume. There are two. But when the actor declares, I am a beggar, what has happened? The two have become one. Similarly, here also there are two. Dehi, the indweller, is one. And Deha, the body, mind, sense complex, the costume is another one, right? However, when this Dehi, when the indweller, when the Paramatma is limitless, gets identified with this because of one too much. What is that? That's called moha, that's called maya, that's called ignorance. Because of ignorance, this Paramatma himself thinks that what? I am this body, mind, sense complex. Where there is two, it becomes one. Lumping together. You understand what is happening to us? So Lord Krishna says in the second line of the verse, Nibadnanti Mahabaho Dehe Dehinam Avyayam. Dehinam, the indweller. Avyayam. Who is he? Vyaya means to wear out, to perish. Avyayam, imperishable. Changeless. Call it imperishable, call him changeless, call him limitless. So Avyayam is the adjective of Dehi. So this indweller of the body is Avyaya, means what? Imperishable, changeless, formless, limitless. So this indweller of the body, who is changeless, imperishable, limitless, Nibadnanti, he is firmly bound with what? With this body, mind, sense complex. Because of what? Because of identification. Just as when the actor identifies with his costume, he as though becomes a beggar. Not really doesn't become, but as though becomes beggar. Similarly, Brahman or the self or the limitless on account of identification with this body, mind, sense complex, as though has become a jiva. Shiva has become what? Jiva. One of the poets in Gujarat sings, Shiva thaki jiva thayo ej aase. Aneka ras levane. The Shiva, the Lord, would enjoy various objects of pleasure. So he came here and Shiva became Jiva as well. So that he can experience Shiva. But poor Shiva forgot that he is Shiva. And now takes himself to be Jiva. Who is really Shiva takes himself as Jiva. So that's the situation. He's bound. So this text says that these three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, bind this Paramatma to this body, meaning they create identification of the body. Alright. So what are these three gunas now? Let us proceed further. So the question arises, what is sattva? What is rajas? What is tamas? What are the characteristics of sattva? What are the characteristics of rajas? What are the characteristics of tamas? So that's what Lord Krishna describes next. On the page 4, the fourth verse. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakamanayam sukhasangena badnati jnanasangena chanagha. Tatra, among these three, what are the three? Sattva, rajas and tamas. Of the three, Lord Krishna says that first I am describing the characteristic of sattva. Sattva guna. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat. Because sattvam is pure, nirmalam. Malam is impurity. Nirmala, pure. Like a crystal. You know what a crystal is? Crystal is transparent. Crystal is pure. And therefore, when sun rays fall on the crystal, it reflects them, radiates them as they are. Similarly, the sattva guna is pure like a crystal, like a mirror. And just as a mirror reflects an object as it is, the mirror is flat and clean, how it reflects the object as it is. Prakashakam anamayam. Prakashakam is illuminating. Anamayam, free from affliction. Amayam is disease, Amaya, have you heard this word? Sarve santu niramayaha. May all become healthy. Sarve sukhinas santu. May all become happy. Sarve santu niramayaha. May all become healthy. Amayam is disease. Niramaya, free from disease. What is the disease? Sadness is a disease. Sorrow is a disease. Therefore, it says niramayam, meaning what? Free from sadness, free from sorrow. So when the mind is free from sadness, free from sorrow, you know how it is? It is cheerful. Meaning that when sattva guna predominates in our mind, the rule is that at a given time, one of these three will predominate in our mind. You follow? Sometimes sattva is predominant. Sometimes rajas is predominant. Sometimes tamas is predominant. So how do we feel when in our mind this sattva guna is predominant? Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat, because sattva is nirmalam, pure. Prakashakam, therefore it illumines. Anayam, therefore it is free from impurities, free from sadness, free from sorrow, therefore it is cheerful. So when the mind becomes sattvic, becomes pure. Nirmalam, nirmalam becomes pure. You know what are the impurities of the mind? Raga and dvesha. Rajas and tamas. Raga means attachment. That will describe. Dvesha means aversion. This attachment and aversion, which result into kama, lust, krodha, anger, lobha, greed. All of these impulses are called the impurities of the mind. Why are they called impurities? Because whenever any one of them takes hold of the mind, I become unhappy. I become restless. I become dissatisfied, unhappy. When the mind is sattvic, all the impurities are there, becomes free from, at that time becomes free from all impurities, mind is sattvic. So there is light in my mind, illumination in my mind, happiness in my mind, purity in my mind. So Lord Krishna says thus, when sattva guna arises in the mind, second line says, sukha sangena badnati, jnana sangena chanagha. Even sattva guna also binds itself. With what? Sukha and jnana. Sukha means what? Happiness. Jnana means knowledge. It's interesting. When the mind is predominant in sattva, then you feel happy, cheerful, pleasant. Also, that mind is conducive for knowledge. Therefore, when sattva guna arises in my mind, a notion is created. I am happy. I am a jnani. I am the knower. I am happy. These are the notions created in the mind, in the self. Understand that self is not even happy. Atma is not even happy. You know what is Atma? Happiness. Happy is, happy is the union of two things. Happiness really is the state of mind. You follow? And when I declare I am happy, you know what is happening? I and happy are combined, they are lumped together. So happiness is a state of mind. And I, who really is the witness of that, I forget my true identity and I say, I am happy. So happy is the union of I and the state of mind. When I identify with my mind, then this notion arises, I am happy. It is also called bondage. That's good, Swami, I am happy. But still, it is bondage because you are not happy, your happiness. So jnana, knowledge, is also the state of mind. Identifying the mind, I say I am a jnani. I am a knower. That also is the manifestation of bondage. Very subtle bondage, but bondage nevertheless. It is not sattva guna that creates bondage, it is identification that creates the bondage. Guna need not create the bondage, but then sukha sangena badnati, so then comes later. Jnana sangena chanaga. Because of my habit of identifying with my mind, with this body-mind sense complex, then when the mind becomes happy, what do I say? I am happy. Mind has knowledge, what do I say? I am the knower. Sometimes it happens that the mother is so identified with the child that when the child becomes sick, mother also becomes sick. Has it ever happened? The child has fever. Mother is so identified she also gets fever. It may happen to you. It is called sympathetic identification. He said yesterday, in the movie, my favorite actor has won a lottery and I jump with joy as though I have won the lottery. It's called what? Identification. And then he becomes very sad because his wife has left him. I become very sad. Though I'm not married even, but still become sad. That's called identification. Similarly, I am the watching. My mind is a movie, understand? Who am I? I am the witness of my mind. I am the spectator of my mind. So just as movie is different and spectator is different, and as long as the distinction between the movie and the spectator, as long as distinction is maintained, so long I am fine. But when I become identified, that distinction is lost. Where there are two, it becomes one. I and the actor become one because of identification. Similarly, Atma, the self, is a spectator. You know what's a movie? Our mind is a movie. Our Swami used to say that really, you don't have to go out to watch movie, your mind presents before you all kinds of emotions, which even a movie cannot present. So what are we? We are the witness of our mind in reality. Just as I am not in any way connected to the movie, just a spectator. So in reality, I am not in any way connected with my mind, or the body, or the sense organs. Just as the actor is in no way connected with the beggar. The beggar is merely in the costume. Actor is totally free. And so also the self, I the self am totally free. Avyayam, unconnected with the mind. But because of identification of the mind, as a mind, I become. Mind becomes happy, I declare, I am happy. Mind has knowledge, I declare, I am the knower. So these notions on my part, that I am happy, I am the knower, these are also the result of identification. Identification with what? When I declare I am happy, that is the result of identification with what? The mind. Happiness is a state of mind. That's called bondage. So Sattva Guna also, if I identify, these notions are created. It's easy to become free from those notions, but they are nevertheless notions. Now next verse describe the rajas. So next one says, Rajo ragatmakam vidhi Krishna sanga samudbhavam Tannibadnati kaunteya Karma sangena dehinam Rajo ragatmakam vidhi. Vidhi. Here Vina may you know. Rajah ragatmakam. No rajas is what? Ragatmakam. Of the nature of raga. So, sometimes when the cloth is put in a water with color, the cloth becomes, the white cloth will become colored, you know. So mind also becomes colored. Raga means what? Color. Actually it amounts to attachment. But our passion, Rajo Raga, so when my mind becomes predominant in Rajas, See, when the mind is predominant in sattva, then mind becomes happy, cheerful, conducive to knowledge. However, when the mind becomes predominant in rajas, you know what I feel? Raga, attachment, passions arise in my mind. Trishna, Sangha, Samudbhavam. Raga, rajas causes Trishna and Asanga. Trishna, Sangha is the sandhi of two words, Trishna and Asanga. What is Trishna? Trishna means what? Right in front of you. It's in front of you. Longing is given there. And asanga means what? See, the word meanings are given for you to see. You just close the book. But this is given that when we read the words, so you can look at the word meaning, you can understand the meaning of words, so the words becomes clear to you. That's the purpose of giving all this information. If you take a little interest, of course. So, okay. So you don't even know what is in there. So what is asanga? What is asanga? The meaning is given in the translation. What meaning is given? Well entrenched attachment. See, meaning is given. Trishna is what? Longing. Asanga is what? Not only attachment, but well entrenched attachment. Sangha means attachment. Before the prefix I is added, asamantat sangha, strong attachment, well entrenched attachment. Meaning that when our mind is overcome by rajas, longing arises, attachment arises. The longing is for what, I'm longing for something. I'm longing to watch that basketball game. Or I'm longing to watch these raptors. Longing is for what? Something that we don't have, understand? Something that we don't have, we badly want to have. That is called longing. Longing, a young man longing for a new car. Longing for, if a couple longing for a new house. Longing for a new job. Longing for a promotion. Longing for ice cream. Longing for a movie. Longing for, so all these various objects of entertainment or objects of pleasure. So when rajas happens in my mind, I feel very restless within myself. There is a strong sense of lack and want. I feel very incomplete, inadequate, lacking, wanting. Stronger the rajas, stronger is the sense of lack and want within me. So when I feel lacking, feel wanting, I am restless, I am unhappy, I am unsatisfied. So what do I want to do? I want to become free from that dissatisfaction, become free from that longing, become free from that strong desire, because that longing or desire makes me uncomfortable in myself. That's the reason why we, as soon as desire arises in the mind, we proceed to fulfill that desire. Why? Because Desire makes me restless. Our Swami used to compare desire with sometimes a worm enters our ears, A worm enters the ears. That stupid worm knows how to go in but does not know how to come out. How do you feel restless? Similarly, this worm of desire enters the mind and makes me restless. I cannot be at ease until that desire and longing is strong desire. If the desire is not very strong, I can dismiss it perhaps. But strong desire, I cannot dismiss. I try to dismiss, it comes back. Ice cream. No, forget it. After 5 minutes, ice cream. No good for you. Ice cream. You are diabetic. Ice cream. I'm a diabetic already, but since last 15 days I have not eaten any ice cream. I can afford to have that. The mind will keep on coming with that until I satisfy that desire. Like a child. Once a child is determined that it wants a candy from the mother, Mom, may I have a candy? No. You already had one. After 2 minutes. Mom, may I have a candy? No. Then, when a friend comes to see the mother, then this fellow comes, Mom, may I have a candy? No, she cannot get angry at the child in presence of her friend. Oh, take it. Child knows how to get his desire fulfilled. It knows how to manipulate. How to manipulate the mother. They manipulate father. Children are pretty smart, but mother is easy to manipulate. Similarly, my mind knows how to manipulate me. That desire knows how to manipulate. Once it arises, and strong desire arises, it won't leave. I can't dismiss it. It will pressurize me to fulfill that desire. That's called longing for what I do not have. That we consider extremely desirable. That without which I cannot live. I feel I can't do without it. That's called attachment when I feel strongly that I cannot do without it. I must have it. For my happiness and security and comfort, I must have it. Happiness is very important to me. Comfort is important to me. Security is important to me. If I look upon a given object as a source of happiness or comfort or security, then that object or person also becomes important to me, right? Basically, what is important to me is my happiness. But if I feel that this thing will give me happiness, then that becomes also very important to me. If I must have it, I cannot do without it. So that relationship I have with things without which I cannot do is called attachment. And longing, that's what it creates. So for what I do not have, Trishna means longing, strong desire. And what I have, Asanga means what? Well entrenched. If you take the trouble of this looking inside, you will get it. Well entrenched attachment. For what? For what I have. I cannot part with it. What I do not have, I cannot do without it. It's called Trishna. And what I have, I cannot part with it. It's called Asanga, Asakti. So we are attached to so many things that we have. Attached to my house, attached to my car, attached to my shirt, attached to my pen, attached to my laptop, attached to my iPad, attached to my cell phone, attached to my WhatsApp, attached to this. What is that? Strong attachment, well entrenched attachment, meaning what? I must have it, I must keep it. So look, bondage is twofold. For things that I do not have, there is a longing, and therefore my mind longs to have it, desires to have it, and pressurizes me to do something to have it. And what I have, my mind has strong desire, so pressurizes me to make sure that it remains with you, doesn't go away. Because that is the source of my happiness and security, what I have. And so, in the olden days, we had this new radio. You don't even know how that radio looks like. It used to look huge radio with valves inside. Now you have a little transistor, so there's no idea of how the radios look like. So we were very proud of the radio. In the neighborhood, nobody had the radio. We are the only ones. So when neighbor's son comes and he says, hey, don't touch it. Don't allow anybody to touch that knob, nothing. It may get spoiled, it may lose. Even we will not allow to touch. The mother will not allow us also to put it, because its well-being is very important to me. I feel happy when the radio is in the right condition, unhappy when it is not. When the wall is newly painted, no scratch, I'm so attached, not even a scratch, come on, take care. Don't put your chair. So people have a habit, when they sit on the chair, I just look at him, I can't tell him anything, but I just recently painted my wall and this fellow is sticking his chair there, it's going to leave a little mark. It's like a mark on my heart. My new car, I spend half an hour every day polishing it before I take it out on the street. I park my car, when I come back, some idiotic fellow, some idiot, has banged it a little bit scratched. I feel so bad. Well entrenched attachment. The thing which is meant to make me happy makes me miserable, understand? Because of what? Attachment. Otherwise I can enjoy the car, but the moment the car has a little scratch, I can't enjoy, I just only think of that. That's all I can think of. Just as when my little finger is hurt, all I can think of is my finger. All the time my attention goes there. Similarly, my attention will keep on going to things that I'm attached. My chair I'm attached to, I don't allow anybody to sit on that. Well entrenched attachment. This is called bondage. I'm bound to those things, am I not? They determine whether I'm happy or not happy. Is it not so? Things that I don't have, for which I have longing, they determine whether I'll be happy by my longing being fulfilled. Things that I have also bind me by determining whether I'm happy or not. They will determine. Tad nibadnadi kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Both these fellows, raga and asanga, trishna and asanga, both of them create action. When there is a longing or a strong desire for something, it pressurizes me to perform an action to acquire it and possess it and enjoy it. And what I have also creates an action to protect it. See, you'll find that there are two kinds of actions in our life, yoga and kshema. Yoga is acquiring what we do not have. Kshema, protecting what we have. Build a house, first thing you build what? A big compound wall. Protecting what we have. Buy a car, you should have what? A garage. In New York City, when I was visiting a friend, his wife every 15 minutes would go out and look out of the window. So what are you doing? Swami, my car is parked on the street. In New York City, you never know when it will disappear. So I'm watching, It's still there or not, safe. When you have something, anxiety to protect it. When I don't have it, longing to acquire it, possess it and enjoy it. When I have something, anxiety to protect it. Both of these create actions, To protect what I also requires an action, and to acquire what I don't have also create action. This rajas creates what? Tannivatnadikant karma sangena dehinam. It binds itself with karma or with action. What is the third one? Sattva, rajas. What is the third one? Tamas. So, earlier verse gives us the characteristics of sattva. The last verse that we discussed gives the characteristics of rajas. So what follows now? Tamas. So the next verse tells us. Tamastu ajnanajam vidhe mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidrave tannibadnati bharata. So let me tell you the word meaning, so you are not embarrassed. Bharata. Whose name is Bharata? Arjuna is called Bharata. Why is he called Bharata? Why is Arjuna called Bharata?
Because he's the great-grandson. Great-grandson.
Why is he called Bharata?
He's from that dynasty, Swami.
Why is he called Bharata? I want the exact words.
Descendant of
Descendant of Bharata.
Descendant.
Descendant of Bharata? Descendant of? Bharata. Not Bharata. Right? Descendant of Bharata is called Bharata. Bharata also is name of which country? Huh? India, okay, thank God. Tamas means tamas, two. Two means what? Whereas, with thee, may you know, ajnanajam, to be born of ignorance. Ajnana, jat, ajnanajam, jam means born. Ajnanajam, born of ignorance. Mohanam, whose name is Mohanam? Mohanam. Mohan is whose name? Krishna is called Mohan. You know why? Because he attracts everybody. In presence of Krishna, the gopis forgot themselves. They forgot their own self, become identified with Krishna. So this tamoguna also is mohanam. To be that which creates what? Delusion. Moha means delusion. Mohanam, mohakaram, that which creates moha is called mohanam. Sarvadehina means what?
To all embodied beings.
To all embodied beings. Tat Pramad alasya nidrami. Pramada means what? Pramada means what? Inadvertence. Alasya means what? Slothfulness. Nidra means what?
Sleep.
Very smart. See, very smart answers. Huh? Well, the word meaning are in the same order, otherwise there will be a problem. Pramada, alasya, nidra. Pramada, inadvertence. Alasya, laziness or slothfulness. Nidra, sleep. Nibadnati completely binds. Who descendant of Bharata? Who is the Arjuna? Tamasmayuno Ajnana is born of ignorance. Mohanam and causes division to all Sarvadehinam, all embodied beings. Then Nibadnati Bharata, it binds the self completely by Pramada, Alasya, Nidra, inadvertence, slothfulness and sleep. In short, when our mind becomes predominant in tamas, what happens to us? Pramada, Alasya, Nidra. Alasya means laziness. Pramada is not laziness. What is inadvertence? Or when our mind, we are not attentive, inattentive. So we are sitting here, and the mind is at home, looking at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. The guest is coming at 9:15. I hope Swami finishes at 9 o'clock. So moment, in office also, it's 4:45, nobody is there. Watching. When is it 5 o'clock? I can just shut my desk and go out. So pramada is this. Even though we are really supposed to do something at a given point in time, instead of doing that, we do something else. Sometimes examination is coming in India, and you are not prepared much for throughout the year. Now 1 month remains for the examinations. So only thing that you should be doing is what? Studying and studying and studying and studying and studying. How many hours a day? 16 hours a day. That is what you should have been doing in order for you to pass the exam. You know what this fellow does? Switches on TV, makes a phone call and talks for 45 minutes, goes out with friends. He's doing something all right, but doing something different from what he should have been doing, you understand? Pramada is not doing something, but doing something quite different from what he should be doing. That's called pramada. Inadvertence. You know the famous incident of Shankaracharya while walking along the streets of Banaras? Shankaracharya is walking along with his disciples and he sees one old Pandit repeating something. So Shankaracharya thought that he is repeating God's name. When it goes near, close by, he hears, what is it repeating, reciting? The aphorisms of grammar. Dukrum karana, dukrum karana. Hey, what are you doing? You are almost now going to pop off. Not too long now is going to take. What should you be doing? Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. Oh, deluded fellow, this is the time when you should be worshipping Govinda. What is he doing? Repeating the aphorism of Vyakarana. So, wasting your time by doing something which is meaningless. When you forget to do what is meaningful and doing something which is meaningless, and thereby you are deprived of what you should have achieved by doing that meaningful. Here there is one commentator who gives the elaborate description of how people pramada. Durlabhasyapi. Now you don't have that in your book. In my book I have it. That's it. Yeah. So Swami must have something special, you know. Durlabhasyapi chirada sanchita punya sadalabdasya Apavarga praptau eka karanasya manushakasya. He says here that we have gained this human embodiment. Human embodiment is, among all 8.4 million species, human embodiment is the only one that is qualified or fit for moksha or for liberation. There is no other upadhi, no other embodiment that is qualified at all because they just don't have the intellect, they don't have the viveka, they don't have freedom, they don't have sense of discipline, they're all programmed. The human being has free will, has an intellect with which he can discriminate between good and bad, right and wrong. And with that we can in fact discriminate between self and non-self and gain the knowledge of self and then liberate ourselves. Moksha, that is the potential we have. Ideally, what should a human being be doing? Only working for moksha, is it not so? And this body doesn't come like that. Durlabhasya, something very rare. Jantunam narajanma durlabham. To gain the human embodiment among all 8.4 million species is durlabham, is rare. You know how did we get it? Chiratara sanchita punya shata labdasya. We must have accumulated punya, means virtuous actions we must perform over hundreds of lives. Over hundreds of lives we must have accumulated a lot of punya virtue, then alone we got this human birth. Does that come free? Big price you have to pay. What's the price? What's the money? A lot of punya karma. And the only means for moksha. Kruthati vahanam pramada. Instead of moksha, a person simply squanders his opportunity in seeking sense pleasures. What a waste, is it not? It is like taking a surgeon's knife, using it for sharpening pencils. The knife in the kitchen, you know what we used to do? Sneak into the kitchen when mom is not there, because you need to sharpen pencils and do some other things, cutting, etc. Then put it there. Then mother says, who is that? Because now she can't even cut a tomato with that because it has become blunt. That's called misuse or abuse of something. So misusing or abusing this human body is called pramada. Says, Ayusha Kshana Ekopi Sarvaratnena Labhyate. How beautiful saying that in Sanskrit. Ayusha Kshana Ekopi Sarvaratnena Labhyate. Even one moment of the human life cannot be attained by all jewels. Even if you are willing to give away all jewels, you cannot buy even one moment of the human life. So precious the human life. Sa vrutha niyatena sampramadi naradamaha. This ayusha of the human life, it is so precious. Yes? Vrutha niyate, just squandered away in useless activities and useless pursuits. Really, he is a very most unfortunate person. Or Bhagavatam says, Nidraya kriyate naktam yayayena chavayatha. Night is spent what? In sleep or in sensuous pleasure. The human being spends night either in sleep or sensuous pleasure. Divacharthe haya rajan kutumba bharanena va, and the day is spent what? In acquiring money and taking care of his family. That's all. Deha patya kalatragishu atmasainyeshu asatsvapi. this body and the spouse, the children and the home and all these things which are all, I look upon them as precious, my own self, which they are not. Tesham pamatto. One is totally identified with it. It's nice to have family, to have home and all possessions is fine. But then to think that that's all my life is, it's one thing to have money, it's another thing to think that money is all that is there in my life. So this person does not look beyond his family and possessions, etc., and think that's all there is. And you know what is happening? The day is approaching him, he doesn't see that because he is so preoccupied with this. Or, kim pramattasya bahuvihi parokshihi hayanehi iha. What's the point in having a number of years of lifespan for a person who is inadvertent? Varam muhurtam viditam ghatate shreyasayataha. Better than that is one muhurta. 1 unit of time that is spent worthwhile is better than spending years and wasting them, etc. So a lot of things is said about how human beings, on account of not understanding what the priorities are, is wasting away. That's called pramada. Doing something different from what you should have been doing. What is alasya? You know what is to be done, but then there is no motivation to do. A heap of dishes is there, you know you have to do that. I'll do it tomorrow morning. Wake up in the morning, look at that heap. I'll do it in the afternoon. Right now, you take some more plates and add into that heap. This is the days when we did not have dishwashers, I tell you. You know what is to be done. Because of tamo guna, there is so much dullness and so much inactivity, there is no motivation at all, no initiative at all, and therefore, person does not do what is, he knows what should be done. Pramada is doing different from what should be done. Alasya does not know what should. So what should be done doesn't get done because of pramada and alasya. And nidra means what? Sleep. He doesn't do anything. In short, because of predominant tamo guna, a person completely squanders away his life. Born of ignorance and deludes this person. What is delusion? What is wrong is thought to be right. What he should not be doing, he thinks this is a thing to be done. That Pandita, even though he should have been reciting Ishvara, God's name, he is reciting Vyakarana Sutra, thinking that's what is to be done. That's called moha. So what is wrong is thought to be right. What is right is thought to be wrong. This is called, so adharmam, dharmavitiya, manyate tamasavruta. When this tamo vritti is there, what is adharma? A person thinks that is the right thing to do. What is dharma? He thinks it is adharma. So when somebody takes a gun and shoots somebody, some leader of the country, when the president of the United States is shot by somebody, he thought that is the right thing to do. When Godse shot Mahatma Gandhi, he was very convinced that's the right thing to do. That's what he deserves. The whole country thinks that's the wrong thing to do. He thought, because tamo guna. Adharma is interpreted as dharma, and dharma is interpreted as adharma. That's tamo guna. So mohanam sarvadehinam creates delusion, creates all the wrong notions. So sattva, rajas and tamas. We'll continue tomorrow. Om